Proton's breeze them upper stage take place entirely out of sight of ground stations. When that happens, we have to wait several minutes until the BRISM comes back within view of a receiving site before we can have confirmation of the burn. Okay, now let's tune into what's going on in Baikonur. Well, we're about 2 minutes and 20 seconds away from liftoff. We'll be getting translations of the Russian announcements as they come over. I expect to hear one in about another 10 seconds or so, at about the 2-minute mark. So far, everything seems to be going very smoothly. All major operations have been completed. Now we're really just waiting for the automatic sequencer to commence the launch activities. One of the differences between a U.S. launch and a Russian launch is that the Russian bunker team really doesn't say a whole lot during the last few minutes of countdown. We're now about 1 minute and 40 seconds away from liftoff. We're at T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds. Looks like a fairly clear night. As I said before, everything looks like it's going very smoothly. One minute and 15 seconds. This time there really isn't much to do except wait for us to get to the proper point on the count. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Mark 1 minute.
Welcome to live coverage of the Hotbird H spacecraft launch. Launch vehicle liftoff is set for 3 hours, 48 minutes, 0 seconds Baikonur time. T-minus 1 minute readiness has been announced.
Coming up on the T-minus 30 second mark. That was our announcer in Baikonur, by the way. He's listening to the Russian announcements. That's T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Ignition sequence start. 2, 1, 0.
We have first stage engine ignition, development of nominal thrust. We have liftoff.
Liftoff of the Proton Reason rocket from the Baikonur Cosmodrome. This is the first leg of a mission that will position the spacecraft at its geosynchronous orbital position at 13 degrees east, where it will support the other Hotbird satellites in the Eutelsat constellation.
20 seconds. Engine combustion chamber pressure is within specified limits. 30 seconds. The mission is proceeding per the flight plan.
We're now about 145 meters per second.
The flight is proceeding well. Control system parameters are steady.
4 kilometers altitude. Coming up on max dynamic pressure at 1 minute.
Vehicle engine operation is stable.
Mark, that's maximum dynamic pressure. That's the point at which the spacecraft and launch vehicle combination experience the greatest amount of aerodynamic pressure.
Well. Control system parameters are steady.
521 meters per second, about 12.72 kilometers altitude.
80 seconds. Launch vehicle engine performance is stable.
We're now about 1 minute 25 seconds into the count.
Pitch, yaw, and roll are nominal.
857 meters per second velocity, 21 kilometers altitude.
100 seconds. The mission is proceeding normally.
We're going to be coming up 2 minutes on the separation of the first and second stages. About 10 seconds from now.
Engine operation is good.
Two minutes, and then we have staging.
We have second stage engine ignition. We have first stage engine cutoff.
Looks like everything is going very well.
First stage separation.
One of the interesting aspects of the Proton...
Second stage engines are at nominal thrust.
One of the interesting aspects of the Proton flight is that second stage engines actually light before the separation of the first
The
stage.
mission is proceeding normally.
That appears to have been accomplished normally. The second stage is operating
140
nominally.
seconds. Control system performance is nominal. Combustion chamber pressure looks good.
We're now at 1,827 meters per second velocity, about
150
52.4
seconds.
kilometers altitude.
Launch vehicle stabilization is steady. 160 seconds. The mission continues to proceed normally.
We're now awaiting several other important milestones in the
170
mission,
seconds.
which will occur in just a few
Chamber
minutes.
Pressures are within expected limits.
The next event will be stage 2-3 separation at 5 minutes 31 seconds into
180
flight.
seconds.
Just
Pitch,
moments
yaw,
after that
and
event, at
roll
5
are
minutes
steady.
46 seconds, the payload fairing will separate from the third stage of the rocket.
190 seconds.
Both of these
Vehicle
events, of course, are
stabilization
key
looks
milestones in the mission.
Combustion chamber pressure looks good.
We're now 3 minutes and 15 seconds into the mission, and we're about 2,355
Performance is
meters
nominal.
per second velocity at 82 kilometers altitude. Phil?
Well, we keep hearing the word nominal, and
Seconds.
that's a good word in the rocket business.
Performance
Very good.
as
Everything's working as it should, and everything with the mission is proceeding as planned. Now, before our next major event occurs, we're going to hear a few words from Eutelsat CEO Giuliano Beretta. Eutelsat is the leading satellite operator in Europe for video and data services and one of the top 3 providers of fixed satellite services in the world. Eutelsat currently operates a fleet of 23 satellites which provide coverage of Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and a major part of Asia and North and South America. Now let's watch this video statement from Mr. Beretta about today's launch.
With the launch tonight, we are assembling here again with 2 outstanding partners of Eutelsat, ADS and ILS. With the ADS, we built together 12 satellites. With ILS, we launched 2 Proton, the one of tonight, and 6 Atlas rockets, which makes altogether 8 satellites delivering to orbit with ILS. I think the combination has been extremely good. We've been working hard in these months, and I